Hi, I'm Martina. Welcome to Magnetic Clarity. I'm a kinesiologist. I use tarot to explore downloads that will help us cultivate the life we want.
Hello everyone. So we're going to have a look at where we need to steer our focus, what we're trying to aim for, and how do we kind of guide our way towards it. So we're going to have 3 piles. So let's just see, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, perfect. So the first one is cooperation. Second one is creativity. And the third one is positivity. So let's see. I'm going to also add the essential oil just to also help the selection process, calling in the energies of how we can emotionally become a bit more levitated in our energy and to find the direction we're looking for and which is the priority in terms of pointing our compass to where we're trying to steer towards at the moment. Okay, 1, so mountain pepper for about manifestation. For creativity, we have Fragonia Miracle. And for positivity, we have Desert Rosewood, Belonging. Okay, so just have a little think about that, where you think your intuition is calling you, and I will see you in the piles. Okay, hi pile 1. I'm just going to have a quick look at what your current energy is. What's kind of holding you sort of away from your goal? And then we're going to have a look at what are you actually aiming for? What are you striving towards? And then of course how you're going to get there, or what's the best advice we can get right now to steer that ship, you know? Sometimes we just need a little bit of levity to get our momentum again. Or just a bit of clarity. What's the priority situation right now? What is it that we need to see? So far you have Mystic Healer. Healing energy flows through you. You have Unheard. You have Earth Pulsing, Pulse of the Mother, Slow Down, Time and Nature. And no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. Okay, so let's just have a little think about this. And I will use the essential oil to start. It always helps me tune into the emotional component of the reading. And mountain pepper is talking about manifestation as well. So empowerment, abundance. 32 might have a reference for you. It kind of smells like you would imagine it to smell. It's quite earthy, which is perfect in terms of earth pulsing. Slow down, time and nature. Cooperation. The master has a quiet eye for what is needed to bring success, to supply it at the right time, in the right place, and in a positive state of mind. I feel like with Mystic Healer, you may work in the healing arts, or you might be dabbling with the idea of it. You do feel very connected, usually, You feel in tune with a lot of things, particularly the energy around you. And you almost like know the answers about quieting the mind, especially if you're manifesting something, or if maybe the manifestation has taken maybe a negative toll on the body. Sometimes when we're looking for, outward manifestation, sometimes the body gives clues, right, about where it might be stuck or where we feel like our energy isn't moving. And it can manifest itself into, maybe having to take or sit something out for a while. Time to rest, time to slow down, time to reconnect to your own healing power or your own healing light. And if it's more of a professional realm where you're using that service for others, then it might be an opportunity for you to reconnect, or maybe even talk to your clients about this very same advice, because the body has that potential to heal, and sometimes we just need to have that quiet mind and take that time out and remember the power that you have within, because we always have it, right? And sometimes we just shut it off ourselves, but we're trying to remember that we are co-creating. It's a cooperation, if you like, with all the elements around us. It's just bringing everything into balance. And as much as we don't always like to say to sit one out or to, reconnect, sometimes it's essential. And sometimes it does mean saying no. And if you're in a professional realm where you are serving and helping others tap into their own potential, then it could be draining you too, because you might not be listening to your own advice. We all do that. We tend to put others in front of ourselves, and that's part of the journey, right? Is to be heard when we're like losing energy. Sometimes we have to re-establish our own boundaries for that, but it comes within first. So if you are dispensing this advice, just have a look at whether or not you are listening to your own advice. And sometimes when we are serving others, we can really pour a lot of energy into someone else's story. So maybe it's just asking you to be mindful of that. But let's see what the tarot says and what more wisdom or messages we can get from it. I'm actually going to pull 7 cards because I kind of want to use this chakra system as a guide, starting with the base chakra. So 7 of Swords, the Tower, 3 of Swords, Emperor, 3 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and last card, Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Wands. I do see with your cards, a lot of the energy seems to be focused in the lower 3 chakras. So that would be your base chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus. And that's about feeling grounded, safe to create in relationships or in projects. And then solar plexus is about trying to have that personal power or motivation or mojo, or so it's like there is definitely some kind of, I wouldn't say blockages, but some definitely slow-mo energy here. Your higher chakras are actually looking really clear, which I think if we just focus on these little stresses down here, we can kind of like shift that energy and start realigning to what it is that you're trying to pull through. Because if we look at your crown chakra, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So it means that whatever download you're receiving is wanting or is intended to be in the physical realm. Pentacles are tangible. We can hold them. It could be money. It could be any sort of resource that you need in your physical reality to propel your journey forward. in your heart chakra, you've got Empress energy, which is fully abundant. So I would definitely say that you're heart-centered. You are probably in the healing arts, or at least in some sort of creative world, maybe an advocate for something. You are with this co-creation and this unheard energy, and what is it that you're trying to manifest. I think that's where these blockages are coming. You've got the Three of Swords in your solar plexus, which really talks about past hurts maybe, or that there's just something you've not been able to alchemize. Sometimes I feel like our biggest strength, which would be like heart space, you are of that nature of giving and nurturing, and you want to share love and be part of this higher upgraded version of life, right? Like, you get that. And I think with the solar plexus energy, it's almost like sometimes what you dispense is sometimes the medicine you need yourself. Or if you've over dispensed your gifts, you can find a little bit of lack of return on investment, if you like. It's like it's not an equal exchange of energy. And so it's asking you to reground and get this. Sometimes it's like you blocking that flow. It's like, not in a bad way, but in the sense that when we get in our own way, sometimes it's not always for our highest good. In the like 3D reality, it's like sometimes we have to get out of our own way. And sometimes that, even though the stagnation or the blocks or the lessons are for our highest good, sometimes we need to get clarity. And I think with the Three of Swords, that's what the cards are asking you to do, is what's this clarity that we need around what we're trying to offer? Because you don't want your very gift to almost get in the way. Like, that is kind of counterproductive, right? You want your gifts to be delivered like the right time in the right place with a positive state of mind, because you know that's where your power is in manifestation. It's empowering your gifts. And so to do that, you want to dispense that in an empowered way, you know. I often talk about, being the lighthouse, not the lifeboat, especially in sort of these industries where we are light workers or heart-centered businesses, because we have this Empress energy, we just need to calibrate it a little bit in our mojo, because it kind of blocks us. It's like we just need to pull those little issues out of the way so that we can heal that energy, so that we can embrace again this Emperor or Empress energy. This is Emperor card, actually. I've been reading the Empress, but I think that's also another clue, because to have balance, even with feminine energy, you want that masculine component to it. It's owning your own power and being that driving force behind it, and to look after your gifts. Those gifts have been given to you and dispensed to you quite rightly, because it's been part of a contract or your soul mission. And so even though you've got the clarity to kind of bridge those worlds from the intangible or 5D reality, and you want to bring it down into 3D, you're there for it. I think also sometimes when we have some unspoken fear, or maybe lack of self-trust, or even we might be sabotaging ourselves, it's just about finding new energy sources that helps alleviate that. If you have these are my sabotage cards, and being unheard, a sabotage program is like when you want to be heard, but you also don't want to be heard. It's like you're working against yourself in the equal opposing position. I think sometimes when you've spoke your truth and it's been shut down some way, it kind of can suppress itself. So ultimately you want to be heard, but you're actually not saying anything either, because you've kind of shushed yourself. With the Tower energy here, like when you're in this creative space to keep trying to build your dream in the 3D reality, the opposing energy of creativity is destruction, right? And sometimes we think of that as a bad thing, but really it's like clearing up the clutter. What is it that's not allowing you to constantly create the life you want? Which parts of these things do you need to say no to or postpone? Maybe your focus right now has been on a few of the other areas that are not really your priority. What is it that you can simplify? What is it that you can put on the back burner? What is it that you can either totally cull or maybe just calibrate some of that chaos? I feel with your throat chakra, you've got this collaboration. So you may have a small team around you, or at least people in your physical world that are happy to help and wanting to help. And also, if you're a solopreneur, I often find that sometimes the people that you resonate with the most could be online. Maybe there's not someone necessarily in your reality, but maybe there's a mentor or a teacher that you need to be tapping into that's going to help you with the building blocks of what this is that you're trying to build. Maybe if you're trying to find ways to dispense your message, dispense your gifts, there could be some lessons in there that you just need to tap into and borrow their confidence, because you will be resonating with them, not because you're mimicking them or that you're it's not. And be careful of imposter syndrome. I feel like the people in our reality are mirrors of something that has an equal match for something inside of ourselves, so that when you do kind of like aspire to be a certain person or a certain mentor, or you like their gifts, just recognize that they're gifts that you have within. So just find out what it is that you really need to get clear on. How can you co-create with the people around you, and just let go of what's causing this sort of, because the more you're not saying no, no will be said to you. Like it's not a punishment program, but it's like the universe will intervene for your highest good. There is a divine intervention that happens. But it's a calibration between, can you take some time out now, ground yourself, recalibrate your dreams, and then find new ways to dispense it, speak it, write it, deliver it. And also to be honest with yourself, what is it that's just not floating your boat in your current design of your life? Sometimes we do things because we think that's the way to do them, but your way could be totally different to everyone else's way. And I think more and more we have to listen to that voice. So hear yourself, don't remain unheard. Your higher self is always trying to communicate and cooperate with you to bring your manifestations forward. So the Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck is kind of just echoing the resilience you've had to endure to continue this path. And sometimes it's that final hurdle, right? That gets you to your destination. Let's just get a final card with some sort of final message. Can we have a little final message for pile number 1? Perfect. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Yep, couldn't say it better myself. So it's just all very black and white, isn't it? Like, keep it simple. Receive those divine instructions. They're given to you for a reason. Keep the pathway clear as you can. Always follow your heart. You've got all the right gifts and you've got the right people around you. And it's just, I guess, a little bit getting out of your own way at the moment. Take your time. No rush here. Okay, thanks, pile number 1.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Hi, pile 2. So let's have a look at your cards. So you have creativity, Fregonia, essential oil, miracle, remarkable oil for key times of transition, visualization and manifestation. And you have creativity. My creativity is an expression of my mastery. I withdraw into my still place within, allowing whatever it is to gestate fully until all my inner beauty and essence emerge from within. Okay, so that's interesting. So, yeah, I think I just wanted to do this around the chakra system, because sometimes when we're trying to gain traction in our life or which way we need to steer, you know, it's always energetic, right? So I believe it's less about actual action per se. It's always about inspired action. And to be inspired action, you almost need to be connected and aligned to yourself, source, whichever it is that you resonate with. And so I just wanted to see if there was key moments in your energy centers that might be a little bit stuck, and how we can maybe get some awareness around that and hopefully get you some messages that might help. So yeah, we want to look at your current energy, I guess, and really what is it that might really be stuck? What is it that you're trying to achieve? And also how to steer that ship. So your first card, Solitude. In silence, peace prevails. I already see a similarity in pile number 1, so if this resonates, maybe check that out too. Sabotage card, or stuck energy, or the blind spots, is defeated. Your life is a canvas. Just can't make this stuff up. Is it artist, manifestation, creative accountability? Wow, these cards are like bang on. So yeah, another echo to what is it that you're trying to visualize and manifest. And you know, this creativity, this desire to create something, it coming from within. And how is it that we are defeating that on some level? So let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, definitely look at pile number 1, because this card came out on pile number 1, and they were also talking about kind of knowing when to slow down or knowing when to stop, because sometimes we can hustle too much to our own detriment. But let's see what your cards are saying. It might have an echo message, but it might have an underlining total different message. So let's see what Tarot has to say. So I'm going to pull 7 cards out for Tarot, starting with base chakra. You have 8 of Wands, sacral. You have the Star, solar plexus. You have the Sun. Heart, you have Page of Swords. Throat chakra, you have the 5 of Pentacles. Third eye, you have Queen of Pentacles. And crown, you have Knight of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Cups. Just sort your cards out. Let's have a little inhale. Inhaling the essential oils for me helps tap into the emotional component of the reading. It just gives me, clears the senses, I guess. Fregonia for me always feels like energy is a bit fragmented. So let's just see what the cards really want to highlight to us. What I will say about pile number 2 versus pile number 1, if pile number 1 was chapter 1, then pile number 2 could be chapter 2 or 3 or 4. Like it's like a continuation of that energy you may have had previously, but now you're in a position of perhaps you've been saying no too long. Maybe you have been in solitude too long. And sometimes we need that, right? We need that, like pile 1 kind of needed it to recalibrate, but it seems like you need to now move out of this space of safety and inaction, because your solar plexus is burning bright. So that means the cards want you to take action, because when you take action, you're already, whatever your creation is or your vision, whatever you're trying to manifest and visualize, and what you've created within is so ready to emerge. Like your life is a canvas. So you've done the inner work, and now it's just bursting at the seams to get out. It's completely aligned with your story, your journey, your path. You absolutely are owning the power to do it. You kind of know you do, but you're still got a little bit of self-doubt, I think, just because it's new territory you haven't experienced yet. You've had to learn a few lessons. You've been doing some research around it, and but it's ready to move. Like bam, once you start actually bringing this in and taking action, it's going to be fast. The communication is going to be delivered in the right way. You've been alchemizing a lot. Like I know this energy too. You take a lot of time to understand what you're creating, whether it's the right creation you want. Are you trusting the right downloads? Are you on the right track? It's like you're creating something brand new, and it's hard to get that measure against, whether it's 111 on the clock. You're wondering whether this has been the creation that you heard or saw in your 5D reality. And what I see in your higher chakras is 9 of Pentacles for the crown. So yeah, like you've had this idea for a while, and now you just need to take steady movement. It's ready, it's steady, go. And don't worry about the downloads stopping. They're going to be in perfect flow at the right time. And it seems like your vision for this manifestation, it seems grounded, it seems abundant, it seems like it could actually work. You've kind of done that internal working, even on a practical level, about what resources it could fulfill in your life. What lessons are you going to graduate by doing this exact action? I would say that in your throat chakra, you probably have a little bit of work to do, and I'm wondering if it has something to do with the sabotage card of feeling defeated. Sometimes we feel like we're working against a clock, or time's running out, and we feel like we've never got there fast enough. But you're in this really amazing energy that, you're in flow. It seems like you've definitely walked away from a few emotional lessons that haven't been serving you, relationships that just haven't, they've been in your path for all the right reasons. It's just that now you've calibrated them, and now you're taking charge of your life. And this defeated sabotage, like sometimes we can wear ourselves down by overthinking, overfeeling, overdoing everything. But I actually think that just that final hurdle for you is delivering it to the outside. It's like you've got all your ducks in a row now. The energy is telling you to go, go, go. Everyone's looking forward. Look, all this forward energy is just, you couldn't bottle this stuff. These are the cards you want. These are the energies you want to help support your dream, your vision, your creativity. And even that, look, is echoed by these little birds. So just need to go and need to take that inspired action. And getting this outside into the real world, you've got a little siren here as well. It's time to get it on the outside. You've been nurturing it in solitude enough, and now it's just time to get that paint on the canvas. It's go time. It's such a great message. I love it, and I feel like you have visualized it for so long, and now it's just getting dispensed into physical reality. I'm so excited for you. Let's just get a final message just to end this reading. It's such a quick energy. But yeah, I guess that's also with the lightning, you know. This lightning's not a warning energy to stop, that things are breaking down. This is igniting your energy out of this solitude. And yeah, it's showtime. Let's just get a final card for pile 2, please. Whoa, 3 cards. Okay. You'll find that it is necessary to let things go simply for the reason that they are heavy. Oh, look at all the colors. The person who feels appreciated will always do more than expected. For success, attitude is equally as important as ability. Yeah, you know, sometimes when you're in the solitude energy, it gets heavy because we can almost suffocate the dream just by delaying it. And so that's kind of another message of this, like, timer, right? Like you don't want to stop the flow, and so you almost have this like FedEx Express, or you know, some sort of delivery system that needs to be quick, smart, because the energy is here to back you up. So just don't suffocate it by your, you know, by having or holding it too tight is what I want to say. And yeah, I think it's echoed with this card as well. Like, you know, sometimes we wait for more physical evidence to kind of like get our feet wet, but it's you just need to move. I don't know how nice to say it, but yeah, it's time to shake a leg. It's you've done all the solitude work, you've done all the nuts and bolts of it, you've visualized it to death, and now it's just time to create and deliver it into reality. Yeah, and it just is such a strong message about shining the sunlight on some sort of collective healing that your gift offers. And so when you feel that you're holding back for the fear of it, just kind of imagine the people that need your work on some level, and that it's not yourself that you're impeding, it's that you were given it for a reason, and it's kind of your job to deliver it. So yeah, some harsh advice, but it's only for your own good. It's like, maybe I'm just that push that you need to just, yeah, get going. Okay, I love your reading, and yeah, really milk this energy, because you know what it's like. We always can go into the second guessing, but you're in quantum flow, and now we just need to get it into reality. Okay, thanks pile 2.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Hi pile 3. So let's have a look at your oil. So you've got a sense of homelessness, connection to self or others. So it's about belonging and positivity. Using my great power of transformation, I take each circumstance, situation, and event for the deeper meaning that is so often hidden. I know everything is for the best. Okay. So let me just, when I inhale the oil, it just helps me tap into the emotional component of the reading. So let's have a look. We're going to have a look at your current energy. And we're also going to look at what's kind of maybe needs a little shifting, or is a bit stuck, or if there's something that's in the way of how you're trying to steer your life right now. Like, what's the priority? Where do I need to be focusing on? Yeah, and see what it is that you're actually trying to deliver. Like, what is it that you are striving towards? And to get that advice on how to, yeah, to steer that ship. And then what I'll do with tarot is I'm going to pull 7 cards, and I want to look at it through the lens of the chakras. I feel that when we're manifesting or striving, it's always best to do it from an energetic space first. It means that we're in alignment. We can pull our reality closer to us, the one that we're trying to manifest. And the chakra system are those energy centers. And ideally, we want to be fully aligned before we take action or even hear the messages that we're needing to hear. So let's get your cards. Staying focused. Hold the course. Okay, interesting. Forgive. Inner Earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Okay, let's get your tarot. Okay, base chakra. We have the Emperor. Sacral chakra, we have Crown of Pentacles. Solar plexus, we have Five of Cups. Heart chakra, we have Crown of Cups. Throat chakra, we have Seven of Cups. Third eye, we have Eight of Pentacles. Crown chakra, we have Ten of Cups. And bottom of the deck, we have the Moon. Okay, let's just have a little tune into this reading. I feel with these cards, it's either you are going through a hard time or you're coming out of that hard time. And what I'm thinking or feeling is that maybe it is some sort of breakup or some sort of ending of a relationship, not necessarily romantic. It could be professional. It could be many things. So, use your own discernment. But it kind of rocked your world a little bit, and so now it kind of raised those questions of, belonging. Like, where is your anchor now? It's like it almost kind of feels like it was swept away from you, that it was disconnected even quite quickly, or just not necessarily out of the blue, but there was a huge lesson in your life currently or in the past, recent past. And I guess what the cards are trying to tell you is that all lessons eventually become a blessing, even when we can't see it in that moment. And I feel like it's been echoed in the cards. And what's amazing about these cards, it's that this lesson has been trying to show you and highlight to you or remind you who you are, what you're worth, and what you're capable of. And that was why this lesson had to happen. It's almost like a tower moment in your life where it was kind of removed for your highest good. I know that sometimes you don't understand why that had happened in the moment, and sometimes it can take years to really get that clarity on why that lesson was so required. But what I can tell you is, in your crown chakra, you've got 10 of Cups, which is all the happiness you've ever wanted. It's perfect, aligned. It's it's complete, like soulmate stuff. It's soul family, soul connections. Love's never felt that good, right? So that's what it's trying to remind you of. And I think when we are in a kind of dodgy situation where we know we potentially shouldn't, but we keep trying for the best, especially if it's a relationship breakup, we kind of either tend to stay too long, even though we get that niggle, right, where we know that it might not be the right fit. In your third eye chakra, you've got the Eight of Pentacles, which to me, it's like signaling that you are here for a purpose. You're here with a unique message, whether that's work or love or relationships or whatever your soul contract was, that you're here to create it. And whatever situation you've just come out of wasn't part of it. It's not, or it's no longer part of it. It's that you needed to move away from it and get reminded about why you're here, because you're so much wiser now. And you know this. I'm really just reminding you of it. You know that you have this mission that you want to achieve, and you've kind of been maybe ignoring it, or maybe ignore is a strong word, but perhaps not focusing it like perhaps you should have, because of all this pain and a disillusionment, like especially if it's been a hard lesson, we're sort of in the debris of that situation, the cloudiness. There can be like a lot of emotional snow, or like just pieces of information that we're trying to figure out how it fits into our story. But ultimately, this is trying to refocus you into remembering why you're here and what you're here to do. Because let's just go into your base chakra right now. You've got the Emperor card, which is actually the only major arcana in your reading, except for your underlining energy. But the Emperor means it's like such a grounded, owning yourself, empowered, established energy that's either who you ultimately are in a practical reality, like in real life, you are that stabilizing force, or it's where you're heading immediately next. It's like you're recalibrating yourself to remember who you are and what your potential was. You've even got the Crown of Pentacles, which means like you've been around the block. Like these, life lessons have not knocked at your door. Like we all have these life lessons, and we have to find a way to learn from them and take stock of them. And you probably know that this is just another lesson in your life right now, and you just needed to hear this to remind you that it's okay. You've got all the wealth of knowledge, resources, power behind you to transform this kind of heartache, and that these new solutions or beginnings that are coming your way, although you haven't felt that they've been possible, you're going to survive this. And it's going to be a better reality for you in the future. In your solar plexus, you've taken a punch to the gut, let's be honest. Like, there's been some disappointments here. And yeah, it's annoying because, some situations just really hurt, and they knock us for six, and they really knock our confidence down, or, we feel like our boundaries were crossed, or we gave too much and we got less in return. And I feel like that's echoed because in your heart chakra you've got Crown of Cups, which is you are this empathetic person. You're such a nurturer. You do work with this emotional center, this heart space all the time. You are generous. You want to give your love away. You want to almost heal the world as well and all the people around you. But if you drain your cup and it gets depleted because either those boundaries were crossed or it just wasn't in the right reciprocal energy, that it can be a bit surprising. And in your throat chakra, you've got Seven of Cups. So maybe there has been some missed opportunities in the past, or maybe there's been too many options that you weren't sure, or too many emotional currents that you weren't really sure how to speak your truth at the time. Maybe there was all of these situations or lessons within this tower moment, or this relationship breakdown, or this betrayal of some kind, or just this lesson that didn't work the way you thought it was going to work out to be. It's like there's been so many lessons in that story that you've just had to calibrate it, clarify it, just find out what lessons were the ones that were really meant to propel this journey forward. Everything's a mirror, right? And I feel like in our external reality, there's evidence around us all the time of what needs calibrating. And if forgiveness is your sabotage card or your blind spot, is it that you need to forgive yourself? Like sometimes when we do take a punch in the guts, or we kind of self-loathe because we know better, like we've been around that block, and you wonder how many evolutions of the same lesson you need to learn before you get it. And I just think that that's such a human story, especially with an empath or a heart-space driven person. But you are here for a bigger mission. So whether all these lessons that you've learned in these previous lessons or situations is all kind of helping you master. It's all helping you master this ultimate stability and almost be a matriarch for someone else. So it could be that maybe you're an advocate or a mentor in these sort of areas that especially if you're getting the 10 of Cups in your crown chakra and you've got the Crone of Cups in your heart space. It's that these are your natural drivers. Like, you are optimistic and hopeful, and you love life, you love people, you love family, you love all of that stuff. And your energy source is your heart space. So it's like when these energies come into play, that's kind of where it blocks that flow, because you are a grounded person. You have wise lessons behind you. You also have the emotional maturity and wisdom to calibrate all of this lessons, so that you're just having to reconnect to yourself and remember what you believe, and that things are deeply healing and that you are changing it on a cellular level. So I do believe if this is not the current energy you're in, I dare say you're already out of this cloud, because that's why you can receive this message. Just like I think, when our external reality shows us messages, it's because we have a vibrational match to it. So I'm more likely to lean into the fact that you've already gone through the shit bit of the story, and now you're ready to recalibrate who you are and remember you're the power that you own and the power that you have to be the force to be reckoned with, and to share your lessons, your knowledge, your resources with others, and to forgive yourself, and to forgive whoever it was that hurt you as well, because ultimately the violet pill of all of this with lessons is, again, like I started this reading, they're always there for our highest good, and we just need to figure out how to alchemize that and thank them for the lesson, and forgive yourself for maybe when you think you stayed too long, or you put up with too much, or you chose them over you, or you sacrificed your own goals for the greater good of the couple, or the business relationship, or the family commitment, or whatever it is. So hard energy sometimes, right? But when I see your cards and the power that it helps you remember, it reminds you your optimism and the power in which you can drive that in your real life, in reality. Watch out. Let's just get a final message to help bring in an overall message. Okay, can we have a card for pile 3? Think happy thoughts. Wow, that's crazy. Pile 2 had like all purple cards, and you have pink cards, and they're all, it's crazy. Love it. But what do your cards say? Oh my god, that is exactly what I was saying. I love this. Can't make this up. So positivity is echoed here by think happy thoughts. It's about getting alignments, remembering who you are, the abundance of emotion, and the intuition that you own and dispense to others. This big heart space that you have, this grounding that you empower within you. That's who you are, and to remind yourself of that. And then also we must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. And that can also come through hardship and Yeah. I often say, like, especially if you're going through a breakup, you know, it's like, don't remember the bad stuff. Just remember the good stuff and take that with you. Because that's where you'll meet your vibration in your new relationships. If you take on all of the clutter from that relationship, you kind of can replicate that in your new vibration, which I think is why this is also in tandem. Like, think happy thoughts, positivity. And yeah, let's just reread this card, which is perfect as well. Using my great power of transformation, I take each circumstance, situation, and event for the deeper meaning that is so often hidden. I know everything is for the best. So, yeah, wow. Such a cohesive reading in terms of the cards coming together. I just hope I was able to articulate that for you in a way that helps. And yeah, my thoughts are with you. And I've felt this pain before, so I can resonate fully with it. So thank you, Pile 3, and see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.